Hello and welcome to the triumphant return of Crosstown Gamer. I'm here back in the saddle and recording videos again. I know it's been almost a couple of months now since the last video, and not to make excuses, but my wife ended up getting COVID and then I got it. We recovered from that after a few weeks, and then once we were recovered, we had a wedding to go to, and there were a couple of birthdays that we had to go to, family birthdays, and then I had a birthday. So it's just been like pandemonium over here. But I'm back, and hopefully the board hasn't changed around too much. I didn't meticulously go back and check, but I assume close enough for French government work here. Oops, this I know was here, and. So yeah, we can continue on from here, and hopefully make some progress here and get through, because there's a lot of coin games we still need to get to and get through. And I am really enjoying the Colonial Twilight so far. It's a little easier, even though the bot's more complicated. There's only one to keep track of, so thankful for that. Just really briefly, in my absence, I did get the Fall of Saigon P500, it arrived. So that's the Fire in the Lake expansion. So when I get to that, which will probably be at the end, it might be the last or second to last coin game that I do, because it's a little more complicated. We might incorporate some Fall of Saigon content into that video. I know absolutely we're going to do the Truong bots to make the bots a little easier to manage. But I might actually do two playthroughs of Fire in the Lake, one with the bots and one the card-based bots like in Gandhi, and then one with the flowchart bots like the other ones, just so that people get an idea of how to play both. You don't have to, you can get value out of those videos whether you have one version versus the other version. Anyway, let's get to playing Colonial Twilight again, and pardon me if I go a little slower than we were going at the end of the last video, but like I said, it's been a while, so I haven't looked at this flowchart in a while. So hopefully it doesn't slow us down too much. We can see... one thing to note, I was looking at the pivotal events because it was stressing me out. I don't know when the bot is going to play the pivotal event, if ever. So I wanted to look that up really quick before, just so we weren't missing any triggering actions or something that we were supposed to look at. And on the back of this bot flowchart, well, it's upside down, so you can't see it. There's this pivotal events section, and it tells you when it would play any of these events. So they have the OAS, which the FLN's never going to play. So we don't actually have to worry about that at all. I did confirm it in the rulebook. It says the same thing. The bots never play that event. So we don't have to worry about that. And this one is for us, which basically it cancels the event that they're never going to play, or the Recall de Gaulle, which is in effect. And then adds to commitment and adds to resources if the government player rolls well and the FLN player doesn't. Otherwise, it might subtract from those things. So I could see how you might want to play that. If you're getting close to winning, you need to exceed 35 support and commitment for the government faction to win. So if you were getting close up here and you thought a propaganda card was coming up, you might want to play it. But it all comes down to a die roll at that point. So yeah, I don't know if we're going to be playing it or not. And peace talks are still in play, so we cannot assault, and they can't attack while those are in play. I'm not sure. The only way to cancel this, I think, is to get to the end of the campaign. There might be an event that allows you to cancel it, but we'll see. So let's move right along. The first card up here is going to be Factional Plot. We can remove half the guerrillas in Tunisia to available, rounded down, or this other thing we don't want to do. Morocco and Tunisia are independent, so this does count. But there's only 3 guerrillas in there, so we would be removing one of them. Doesn't sound like a whole heck of a lot of use for us. So I think we are going to do something else, which means I think we're going to end up doing a operation and special activity. So we can't assault, which really means that sweeping in garrison will have limited effect. It might be good because it'll limit what the FLN player is going to be able to do, because a lot of their stuff is like must have underground guerrillas or something like that. And events might come up which allow us to like eliminate things without assaulting, which might be nice as well. But I'm a little upset still that the TZ Ozu province is under FLN control and opposition. It's a highly populated area, as well as the Suk Aras section is FLN controlled. It's neutral, but it's only a matter of time, I think, before that one falls as well. So I think let's look at what we can do. So garrison and sweep is kind of lower priority for us, again, because we can't assault. So it'll allow us to move some folks around, which might be okay. But I think train is where we want to go, because we want to place some cubes. And then in one section that has government control, we get to pacify, which is good. And then this costs... it must be 2 resources. I think I called this out. Resources per location selected in the first video. It should be two resources per selected location. So that's good. And then we also want to make sure, so deploy and troop lift is what we would get to do. Neutralize we would not get to do. Oh, so that's another... Ooh. So we might want to sweep or garrison after all, because that would allow us to neutralize, and neutralize is an assault. So we would get to remove some guerrillas. Underground guerrillas remain, yeah. Okay. Oh, but then it shifts toward opposition, so we would only want to do that in a spot that's already at opposition, or I guess is neutral. So like we could remove... yeah. Well, it's something to think about. I think for this time, we're just going to be doing the train operation. So let's just get to it. We're just going to train. Place up to 4 Algerian cubes. That's the first thing we're going to do. There's 2 unavailable, and then we get to pull 2 from the map. And we don't... Oh, this is FLN controlled. Okay. We don't want to do it here because there's some contention there. We might pull from up here. I think that's the most likely spot. At least, yeah, let's just go hog wild here. So 4. And where do we want to put them? We have to place them. So it's going to cost us 2 per spot. And if we only do 1 spot, then we can place all of these, or we can kind of distribute them amongst the spaces that we have. So I think we're 2 away from support or from control here. So it's 4 pieces against 5 pieces. So let's mark this as a spot, and let's mark. Let's see, 1, 2, 3 to 1, 2, 3. That's good. Here's another location. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it here. So if we place our Algerian cubes, then we place our Algerian cubes here. Okay, so we did that, and then we can flip the control over for each of those 2 spots. And it costs us 4 resources for that. So we're down to 6. And then we can pacify I believe. So we placed in one spot, we can pacify up to one level. Remove terror and pacify up to one level. So there's no terror, but where do we want to do this? So we could either get this opposition out, or we can add support. I can't remember if... Let's just look at the FLN spot. Any non-support city, any space. Okay, so they have their rally. They can't do it in support. Oh no, that's a city only, non-support city. Okay, so it doesn't matter. I was gonna say, like, if it's a non-support sector, or province or anything, then we would want to add support versus take it away, opposition. I just don't like that red on the map, so I'm just going to do it here. This will cost 3 resources to do, and bringing us all the way back down to 3. And it will adjust the opposition plus bases down to 15. And that was our operation. Now for our special activity, we can deploy or troop lift. Move French pieces among available and spaces, or resettle 1 pop. Okay, up to 3 spaces. Move 6 pieces. Okay, so we can move a bunch of people around, or I'm just trying to figure out, like, the difference here between deploy and troop lift. So 3 spaces. Troops versus pieces. And this is limited to 6 pieces. This is as many as you'd like between any of those 3 spots. Okay. Well, let's do deploy because we're a little less limited to just doing troops. Let's do deploy. Are there any more spots that have FLN control that we might want to think about? Yes. So again, I'm not sure what the best route is. Like, these places aren't even going to matter. Like, so I don't care about control down here, I think. So we can take... Let's just... Oh, and available, right? We can do this from available. Up to 3 spaces and the available box. Oh, that's why deploy is awesome. Yes. Okay. And you can do bases. Up to 3 spaces. City, sector with base, or government control. Oh, we don't have government control. Okay, we can't deploy here. I guess that makes sense. So because that's not control, and we don't have a base there, we can't. Yeah, we do have a base here though. So it might be worth it to just like drop a bunch of troops in, or police, excuse me. Or we can do it up here, like solidify our spots and plop base down because we do have control. That might be good. I want to spread the bases out as much as I can, though. Like, this would be a good spot for one. Okay. I think we want to do it here. And here to solidify our foothold there and plop a base down. And then the available box. So we get to move up to 6 pieces among the selected spaces. So this is a piece. So this is 1, And then 2, 3, 4, 5. And so we can go like 2, 3, 4, 5. And then let's get one of the troops over to here for 6. 6 pieces. And now we do have control of this, which is great. So 2 spaces plus the available box for a 3rd space. And we have almost everything on the map now. There's one lonely base. Okay, that was our special activity. So now the FLN player gets to do the old flowchart. So limited operation and at 0 resources? No, because they're at plenty of resources. Okay. Each FLN Algerian base at 1+ pop has 2 underground guerrillas and 1+ at 0 pop. Okay, so let's look at all the FLN Algerian bases. Don't worry about Tunisia or Morocco. This one has, and it's specifying underground. So this is a 2 population spot. It only has 1 underground guerrilla. So this automatically makes it a yes. We can look at a couple others though. I think most of them are safe. This one also does not have enough. But yeah. So, no. Each Algerian base has the requisite number of guerrillas? No. Government was active already and will be 2nd eligible on the next card. That is true. We already went and we're going to be 2nd eligible. Because we chose Operation Special Activity. So that's a yes. So they want to do terror. Okay. If the current event is playable by FLN and would reduce government victory margin by as much or as more as terror, follow the if none box. So let's look at what the shaded box does. It redistributes guerrillas between Morocco and Tunisia. So that's not going to affect victory margin at all. Then they're going to remove support at the highest population that they're able to. And if it's the last campaign, which it's not, blah, blah, blah. So they want to remove support at the highest population that they're able to. And if we look at their terror op, they can only do this in spaces with underground guerrillas. So where do they have underground guerrillas and support? Why was I not worried about this kind of crap? Man. This is such a tug of war here. Okay. So any spaces with underground guerrillas, not pop 0. Activate 1 guerrilla, set to neutral. And then we never want to activate the last underground guerrilla at an FLN base. So they can do it here, but it would activate the last guerrilla at an underground base or at a FLN base. So they don't want to do that. They only want to do this at support. So it's in the cities, they can do it. And here they can do it. Yeah. Looks like these 3 spots. 1, 2, 3. Now they're activating their last guerrilla in these spots. However, there's no FLN base there, so they don't care. So, man, I just want to make sure I'm reading that right. But I think I am. I don't see a reason why they can't do that. It's like spaces with underground guerrillas anywhere. Okay, terrible. Terrible for us. So they will activate and set this to neutral and add a terror marker. And then they will activate, set the space to neutral, add a terror marker, and then they will activate, Set space to neutral. And terror marker. All right. So that costs 3 resources, 1 per space. So they're at 2 now. And so they did that, and they're going to try to subvert. Up to 2 spaces with Algerian cubes and underground guerrillas. They do have spaces that are like that. So subvert, underground guerrilla, and Algerian cubes. Okay, remove total of 2 Algerian cubes, or replace 1 police with an underground guerrilla, and they get removed to available. Okay, so they're going to remove a space's last cube. Can they do that anywhere? I don't think so. Because everywhere that have Algerian cubes also have at least 1 French cube. So even if they remove 2 Algerian cubes here, there's still a French cube. So they're not removing the last cube. So no. In 1 space, replace 1 Algerian police with a guerrilla, and then randomly where able. Okay. So they're going to pick 1 spot to do it, to replace, and then they're going to pick another random spot to remove. So randomly we're able to. Oh, no. Again, I remember doing this on the last video. So they either get to remove a total of 2 between the 2 spots, or replace 1 police with an underground guerrilla. They don't get to. Yeah, they don't get to double up here. Yeah. I just think it's interesting the way this is worded, because they're going to replace here, but subvert only if subvert. Oh, because I think. Right. I need to figure out how it works again. They don't have any available. How does it work? The bot can pull from the map now. So let's see. Where are the spots where they're able to do this? Here. So any of those 3. And no underground guerrillas there. So any of those 3 spots, they are capable of doing this. So we will roll a die to determine. So let's do 1 or a 2, 3 or a 4, 5 or a 6. 6. So it's going to be here. They're going to replace 1 Algerian police with an underground guerrilla. And let me just pause to figure out the priorities for that again. Okay, so if we go over here, they always want to place. Where did it go? Here we go. Place guerrillas. Okay. When placing from the map, active guerrilla pieces and active only from the map to other spaces on the map. Thereby, never remove either of the last 2 guerrillas from a base or support space, and remove first from where there are the most guerrillas. So there are the most guerrillas here, and I'm not removing the last 2, any of the last 2. So I think that's the spot, and it goes zippity-doo over here, and we take away the police cube. This goes back to available per the menu of actions. Okay, that was subvert. So they don't get to do that again, even though they only removed 1 cube, because they chose to replace instead. So there was that. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. They are only supposed to do a limited operation. So we're gonna have to rewind. Sorry, that's Unwind is what I should have done before this video so that I'd be more relaxed. Let's see. We terrored there. All of these three were support spots too, so okay. Support, 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 and terror, terror, terror. I know it's upside down, it's driving me nuts too. Don't worry, I'll fix it. Okay. And lastly, deactivate, deactivate, deactivate. So, all right, back to terror. They get one spot, highest population, that's gonna be here. We're gonna do that, put it to neutral, do this, and instead of 3 resources, it'll only cost them 1, so they get 2 back. That was their limited operation. So we went through an entire extra bit at no extra cost to you. Well, that's not as bad. I mean, it's still terrible. And we never adjusted this either. 1, 2, 3. Probably for the best, because it would have made me sad. So, yes, we adjusted the support. That was the limited operation. So now the FLN is first up. We are second up. Let's see if we can get through one more card a little bit quicker this time. Maybe I don't do so many actions that I'm not supposed to do. Okay, protest in Paris. So, executor may move France track up to 2 spaces left or right. Interesting. Okay, Lemop, no. This is not true. And this is a no, we said from last time. Government was active already, so this is a no now. Yeah, I just want to see. So the event's way down here, so I don't think they're doing the event. Rally would place base or FLN bases on the map. Oh yeah, this one again with the dang old thing that I never track. So FLN bases on the map times 2 is 16. Is that greater than the number of guerrillas at FLN bases plus some extra stuff? Well, let's see if a rally would place a base first, because I don't want to do that calculation just yet. So they are going to replace 2 with a base. But such a thing... they need at least 3 guerrillas and no cubes, or 4 plus guerrillas and room for a base. So 3 guerrillas, no cubes. Yeah, I think the only spot is here. They've got 4 guerrillas, but there's no room for a base, so they're not going to do that. So 16 is 8 times 2. That's the number of bases they have. How many guerrillas do they have at bases? Is it underground or just... Nope, just guerrillas. 3, 7, 10, 11, 12. Plus 1d6. So even if they get a 6, that'll be 15. And so 16 is greater than 15, which means they're going to rally. So we know that they're not going to... So they can do this for up to 6 spots. But really they only have 4 resources, so less than that. Unless they are going to extort. They're not going to do it at the first 2 bullet points there, because we checked for that already. They're not going to do the base thing. At bases with less than 2 underground guerrillas, rally at 0 pop, and abroad only if none underground. Oh, I see. And then we got the star and the dagger there. where they would potentially flip them all underground. But I think where the least guerrillas underground. So FLN bases. Yeah, okay. I was just considering like this region over here, but there's no base here, so they're not going to do it there. It's only at the bases where there are less than 2 or fewer than 2 underground guerrillas. So we have one spot here. Let's mark it. Any other bases with fewer than 2 underground guerrillas? Yes. Here. That's the wrong color. And fewer than 2. Okay, that's 3 spots. And we're going to do all of those as much as we can first. In Algeria, that's all of them. Where there are cubes, that's all of them. Where at least 1 plus population, that's all of them. Where there are the least guerrillas underground, it's a tie. There's 1 underground there, 1 underground here, 1 underground here. So we're going to roll the die again because we've run out of priorities to do which one first. So we got 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1. So here's they're going to rally first. And the star is like place guerrillas until none are available. Then from the map, using active guerrillas only, per march limitations, from where there's the most guerrillas, and flip underground at bases. It's so hard. There's so many like nested things in here. Okay. So there aren't any available. So they're going to do it from the map. Active guerrillas only, per march limitations. Which is never march last underground guerrilla or last 2 from an underground base or last guerrilla from any support space. Okay. So like here they could pull from. Otherwise they would just flip. Like if I were them, I would flip those underground. So again, it's never march last underground nor last 2 guerrillas from a base or last guerrilla of any support space. Cause no government control. So the other option is here. This is not a support space anymore, so they can march from there. And they want to do it from where there are the most guerrillas. And they get to place... How many do they get? If base, up to population plus bases. So population plus bases is going to be 3. So they can march all 3 out of here because... Oh no, that would cause government control. They can march 1 out of here. That would not cause control. It would cause this to be uncontrolled. They could do 1 from there and 1 from up here. So just 2. So they'd flip those like so. They're going to do some kind of crazy stuff, I think. Okay, so that was 1 resource to rally there. Now, 1, 2, 3, and a 4, 5, 6. 4. So here's the other spot that they want to rally. Now, the only spot... Oh, I think they get control again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, they have control temporarily. 2, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 6. So from here, they can march 1. This is no longer controlled. I took away the control marker over here as well from when we moved that. This is no longer controlled, so this has the most amount of guerrillas, and I'm not causing any government control. And I can flip this underground and put it here. And now this has enough. But then we get to this last one here, and that cost a resource. Did I already mark it? No, I did not. That cost a resource. And up here, the problem is there's none available. There are still guerrillas on the map, but in removing them from those sections, it would cause the government to gain control, which is not something that they're willing to do. So we're going to pass on that. And I think since all the rest of these... Oh, no. They can... So that was 3 locations that they chose, but they only did it at 2. They can do it at the France track, but... yeah. I was just thinking about... Okay, at each non-city support and no underground already. No. Where would they flip to underground? Well, I guess we'll just keep going. France track, they want to do it there. So they get to move it. I believe the way they do it, they push it this way. So it does not change our commitment or anything. So not too worried about that. So that was their 3rd spot of their 6. They can't place... Okay. Then flip underground at bases. So they've already selected this, so they can't flip everything to underground there. There's no other active guerrillas on the map except for here, and there's no base here, so they're not going to flip that underground. So I think they are not going to select anywhere else, except maybe to... I gotta just keep going, because they might agitate. Rally to agitate in a 2+ population space, if able, with any... in one space with FLN control or a base. FLN control or a base, 2+ population. And that is so that they can agitate. FLN control or base. Okay. Non-city... 2+ pop space, if able. One space with FLN controller base. FLN control or base. So they could agitate here. So they'd make a selection of, I'm going to rally here. Which they already did, but we didn't. So I should have kept these out. They can agitate there because they have a base. This is non-city support, so they can't do anything there. I guess they could agitate here. I know they've already rallied there, but it's the same. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure there weren't any other spots, but I don't think there are. Okay. They can't do any of this crap, and then if did not yet agitate for greatest shift. So shift space 1 level toward opposition. They get to it would cost 1 resource to do. Oh, it's perfect. They have just enough. So they will select this space. Actually, they probably wouldn't, because it would be cheaper to do it here where they've already rallied. They just need to do it in a spot that they picked for a rally. 1 selected space. Agitate. So they're going to agitate here. And so that cost them 1 resource to do. They're still at 1. They could have done it here, but it would have cost them a resource to pick this location and then cost them a resource to agitate. So they're not going to do that. Even though I guess technically the rules don't say that, but I think it's just common sense. I should have chosen randomly between those two spots, but it doesn't matter. They're going to do that and place a terror marker. I don't think they have to. Oh no, they're removing the terror markers. Yeah. Okay. And that gives them 2 points. Right on. That was their rally, and their special activity is going to be to subvert. 2 spaces. Oh yeah, we've done that. We just did this on accident in a couple of spots. So, remove a last spot's cube. Again, that's not going to be a factor. 1 space. They're going to replace an Algerian police with a guerrilla. Now they can't do it though, because in doing so, they would cause there to be control, which they don't want to do. Right? I believe it's like cause no... Oh, well, it doesn't say it. Cause no control. Oh, no. But whenever they're placing from the map, they want to do so... You know, it's always like placing guerrillas. It's the star. Let's just double check. Okay, subvert doesn't have any special instructions, and there's no star on the like subvert part here where it says to replace. So we don't have to worry about the march priorities or removing whatever. So we just have to worry about never replace the last 2 guerrillas from a base or support spot and remove first from where there are the most guerrillas. So now they don't care. So they will replace. I don't see anywhere that says they can't cause control now. So we've got a 1 or a 2, because they could do it here. They could do it here, or they could do it here. Yeah, never remove the last 2 guerrillas from a base. Oh yeah, and they can pull from here. It doesn't matter. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. So 3 this time. It's here. So they're going to replace this guy with an active guerrilla, and they're going to pull from where there are the most guerrillas, which is going to be here. So they're going to pull this active guerrilla here and replace him down here in TZ Ozu. And that went from government control now to FLN control. And this one went from uncontrolled to government controlled. Okay. I believe that was their subvert, which means that was their operation and special activity. Now we get to do this. Okay, we can move the France track 2 spaces left or right. Pretty boring, but at the same time, what else are we going to do? Limit it up. Let's do it. Let's execute the event. I guess we could pass too and get 2 resources. That's fine. Because yeah, just double checking. We could train in 1 spot. That's not really going to... I guess it would allow us to pacify. Yeah, so screw the event. Let's not do it. Oh no, we need the resources to be able to do it, to pacify. We would pick a spot to rally, like here, and then that would cost 2 resources, and then to pacify it would cost another 2 resources, which we only have 3 total. So we're not going to be able to do that. It might be a good time to pass. We'll see, because the event's not too exciting for me. I guess it would be slightly better. I'm not worried. Maybe this is the wrong thing, but I'm not worried about the France track right now. So I think we're going to actually pass. So we're going to get 2 resources. That'll give us a few more options for next time. And then we will get rid of this. We are going to be first eligible. The FLN are going to be second eligible. The next card is going to be Sumam Conference. Ooh. Yeah. That's cool. We can get 2 of their bases out of there. No sweat. And it would block them from getting bases on there too. This is kind of a zero-sum game, so there you have it. Anyway, I'm going to stop there because we've gone on for 45 minutes now. Thanks for my triumphant return, for watching, and hopefully the huge pause in videos has not made me so brain dead that I can't figure out how to play this game anymore, and hopefully we were at least semi-accurate with that. So more videos to come in the near future, I hope. And with that, I will bid you farewell and see you next time.